Have you ever watched someone you love try to walk across the room? Not run. Not even jog. Just walk, from the chair to the bathroom, from the bed to the kitchen. And suddenly, that simple walk looks like a mountain climb. They hold onto the wall like it's their last hope. One foot drags behind the other. And every step looks like it might be their last. Maybe it's your father. The same man who once carried you on his shoulders, now clutching furniture just to make it down the hallway. Or your mother, who once danced around the kitchen while cooking, is now afraid to move too quickly, because one fall, one slip, could change everything. And you're standing there, watching, feeling helpless. Scared to offer your hand, because they're proud. They're used to being strong. But deep down, you're wondering, what if I'm not doing enough? Let me tell you something, friend. You're not alone. Every day, thousands of families face this quiet fear. That the next step could be the wrong one. That the next fall could be the last one. And here's the heartbreaking truth: falls are the #1 cause of serious injury among older adults. But you know what else is true? Most of them are preventable. With just a few small changes, just a few simple habits, so many falls don't have to happen. And that's what this video is all about. Today, I'm going to walk with you, step by step, through 5 simple but powerful walking tricks that are helping thousands of seniors stay on their feet, walk more confidently, and take back control of their bodies, without fear. By the end of this video, you'll feel more confident, more prepared, and you'll know exactly what to do to help yourself, or someone you love, stay safe while walking. So if you're someone who believes aging should come with grace, not fear. If you want the next walk across the living room to feel stronger, not scary, then this video is for you. Comment "I'm here" below if you're ready to learn how to protect the ones you love. And don't forget to subscribe to Elder Mature Moments, where every week, we share tips, stories, and simple steps to help you age smarter, safer, and with dignity. Let's get started. Let's start with the first walking trick, one that sounds almost too simple to matter. But believe me, it does. It's called the 3-second pause. Now let me tell you about Mr. Benson. Mr. Benson is 82. Sharp as ever. He still reads the newspaper every morning, folded just the way he likes it. He prides himself on doing things himself. No cane. No walker. Just willpower and memory. But one morning, like many before it, he got up from his favorite recliner a little too fast. He had been sitting for hours, watching an old western. The movie ended, and without thinking, he stood up, took a step toward the kitchen, and the next thing he knew, he was on the ground. Hip fractured. Confused. Embarrassed. And in pain. Now, he didn't trip on anything. There were no obstacles. Nothing wet on the floor. So what happened? Here's the part we often don't see, but it's happening inside the body. As we get older, our cardiovascular system slows down. That means when you move from sitting to standing, your blood pressure doesn't adjust as quickly as it used to. The sudden change can cause a brief drop in blood flow to the brain, what doctors call orthostatic hypotension. You feel lightheaded. Maybe dizzy. Your balance slips. And before your body has time to react, you're already falling. Now most people, especially older folks who've always been independent, will say, "Oh, I'm fine, I've been doing this for years," or the classic, "I don't need to sit down. I just stood up too fast." But that's the problem. We assume it's just a fluke. We brush it off. Until it happens again. And again. And this time, the injury is worse. So what can you do? Pause. That's it. When you stand up, don't walk right away. Plant your feet. Count to 3 in your head. Take a slow, Deep breath. Give your body those few seconds to catch up. It seems so small, like it wouldn't make a difference. But it does. Those 3 seconds could be the difference between a steady step and a painful fall. And if you're someone who cares for an older loved one, remind them gently. Practice it with them. Turn it into a habit. The 3-second pause isn't just about balance. It's about protecting dignity, mobility, and independence. Because the truth is, no one wants to feel fragile. No one wants to feel like a burden. But those who pause are actually showing strength. They're saying, I care enough to move carefully. I want to keep walking. I want to stay strong. And isn't that what we all want? Now, standing still is a good start. But what you're standing on, that's just as important. Let's talk about what's under your feet, and how something as simple as your shoes could quietly be putting you at risk. Let's move on to the second walking trick, and this one might surprise you. Because when most people think about falls, they think of how someone walks. But they don't always think about what's on their feet. Let me introduce you to Mrs. Lewis. She's 76, lives alone, and takes pride in keeping her house sparkling clean. But lately, her children noticed she was walking more slowly. Cautiously. Holding onto the wall more than usual. She'd slipped twice in the hallway, once near the kitchen. No serious injury, thankfully. But her daughter was worried. They checked the tiles. They checked for spills. They even thought about putting in new floor mats. But the real answer? It was in her shoes. You see, Mrs. Lewis wore the same old pair of house slippers every single day. They were soft, loose, and broken in, just the way she liked them. But when her grandson turned one over, he noticed something. The soles were smooth. Completely worn out. No grip. No traction. No support. Those shoes weren't helping her anymore. In fact, they were making things worse. Here's what many people don't realize: footwear plays a huge role in balance. It affects posture. It affects how your foot hits the floor. And it determines how much support your ankles and knees get with each step. As we age, the muscles in our legs and feet lose strength. Our arches flatten. Our stride shortens. So the wrong shoe can throw the entire body off balance. And here's a common mistake I hear all the time: they're just indoor shoes, she's always worn them, they're so comfortable, she doesn't want to change. But let me gently say this: comfort isn't always safe. Especially when comfort means zero support. Soft slippers might feel good, but if they slide, wobble, or trip you up, they're doing more harm than good. So what's the fix? It's simple, but important. Choose shoes with a firm, non-slip sole for better grip. A closed back, so the shoe hugs the foot and doesn't slide off. A low heel, no more than an inch high. And enough structure to support your arch and ankle. And just like tires on a car, even the best shoes wear out over time. So check the bottom. Feel for smooth patches. Look for cracks, loose stitching, or bent insoles. If they've lost their grip, they've got to go. It's not about style. It's about staying on your feet. Because what good is a comfortable shoe if it leads to a hospital bed? This small change, just checking shoes every few months, has helped countless older adults walk more confidently, with fewer slips and fewer scares. And it's a change that starts today. Right now. Take a minute after this video, check the shoes. Yours or your loved ones. It could be one of the simplest, smartest fall prevention steps you'll ever take. Now, we've covered standing still. We've covered what's under your feet. But where you walk matters just as much. Let's talk about the one place where most falls actually happen, not in public, not outside, but right inside the home. Now let's talk about walking trick number 3, the home pathway scan. This one hits close to home, literally. Because sometimes, it's not the sidewalk. Not the shopping mall. Not even the staircase outside that causes the fall. It's right there. In the living room. In the hallway. On the way to the bathroom at night. Let me share a story about Uncle James. He was 79. Retired school principal. Loved his routine, early dinner, a cup of tea, and one last walk to the kitchen before bed. But one night, that short, familiar walk turned into something else entirely. As he shuffled past the edge of the carpet, the corner was slightly curled up. Just enough for his toe to catch. He stumbled forward, tried to grab the counter. Missed. He landed hard. His wrist took the full weight. Fractured. Painful. And just like that, one tiny bump on the floor changed everything. Now here's the thing, Uncle James had lived in that house for 40 years. He knew every step. Every turn. He could walk it with his eyes closed, or so he thought. Here's what we forget. As we age, our senses change. Our vision softens. Depth perception fades. Footsteps get smaller, slower, and sometimes, we begin to shuffle instead of step. And that's where the danger hides. A rug corner. An open cabinet door. A low piece of furniture. A cord stretched across the floor. What used to be easy to avoid now becomes a trap waiting to happen. And the biggest misconception? We've lived here forever, we know this place. But aging changes how we interact with space. That memory of what's where isn't always sharp. That vision of a shadow in the hallway might look like a step. That once clear path now has a walking aid or a footstool in the way. That's why this trick, the home pathway scan, is so important. So what does it look like? Every week, take a slow walk through the home. Look at the floor, not just with your eyes, but like someone seeing it for the first time. Remove loose rugs, or at least use non-slip pads underneath. Tuck away cables. TV cords, phone chargers, extension leads. Clear the walking paths, especially from the bedroom to the bathroom and kitchen. And here's a big one, install night lights. Those dim plug-in lights can change everything. Because a lot of falls happen at night. Eyes half open. Room half lit. One wrong step, and it's a hospital trip. And if your loved one resists, just remind them, this isn't about changing the house. It's about protecting you. You're not making things harder. You're making things safer. Because a safe home isn't about perfection. It's about removing the hidden threats we stop seeing every day. And when those threats are gone, walking becomes easier. Confidence comes back. And your loved one moves through their space, not with fear, but with freedom. Now, we've talked about where we walk. But let's take it one step further. Because how we move our feet, the actual mechanics of walking, can reveal even more. Let's explore a simple but powerful habit that helps restore rhythm, balance, and confidence, one step at a time. Now let's move into something that most people never pay attention to. How the feet actually move when we walk. This is walking trick number 4, the heel-to-toe rule. And believe me, this one might seem subtle, almost invisible if you're not looking for it, but it can say a lot about someone's health. Let me paint you a picture. Next time Nana's walking across the room, take a moment. Really watch. Are her steps smooth, or do her feet slap flat onto the floor? Is she walking with intention, or does it look like her toes barely lift off the ground? Maybe you hear the sound of shuffling, that quiet drag with every step. Or maybe it looks like she's walking cautiously, as if she's not sure her legs will listen. That's not just tiredness. That's not just old age. It's a warning. See, our legs, especially the muscles around our ankles and shins, play a huge role in lifting, positioning, and placing each foot properly. But as we grow older, we lose muscle tone. We lose some nerve sensitivity. And sometimes, our coordination between brain and feet slows down. So the feet don't step the way they used to. They shuffle. They slap. And that gentle sound of dragging across the floor? It's your body saying, I need help. Now here's where a big misunderstanding often happens. Families watch this and think, she's just being lazy. He's not trying hard enough. They're just tired today. But let me say this clearly, it's not laziness. It's leg weakness. It's coordination decline. It could even be a subtle sign of something deeper, like Parkinson's, neuropathy, or early balance issues. That's why this trick, the heel-to-toe rule, is so powerful. It's a way to retrain the body to walk with intention again. So how does it work? It's simple, but it takes focus. Every time you take a step, you, 1, land first with your heel. 2. Then gently roll the foot forward. 3, and finally push off from the toe. Heel to toe. Heel to toe. Try saying it out loud while you walk. Heel, toe. Heel, toe. And if balance is a concern, no problem. Practice it along a wall. Hold on to a countertop. Even walk down the hallway where there's something to grab nearby. The goal isn't speed. It's form. Why does this work? Because it strengthens the foot and ankle muscles. It re-engages brain-to-body coordination. And it rebuilds a smoother, steadier rhythm, like music for your muscles. Even just 5 minutes a day can make a difference. You're not just walking. You're retraining your balance, your posture, your control. And when your loved one starts doing it, you'll notice something. Their steps become more confident. Their fear starts to fade. And the hallway doesn't feel so long anymore. Heel to toe. That's the rhythm of safer walking. And now, let's wrap this up with something a little different. The final walking trick doesn't just focus on the body. It brings in something else, connection. Because sometimes, what makes walking safer, is simply not doing it alone. Let's finish strong, with one of the most underrated but powerful habits I've seen help older adults walk more confidently. This is walking trick number 5, the talk while you walk method. And to explain it, I want to tell you about Mrs. Grace. Mrs. Grace lost her husband 2 years ago. Since then, her days had become quieter, slower, smaller. She spent most of her time in her bedroom, curtains drawn, meals brought in. Not because she was weak, but because the spark just wasn't there. Her daughter, worried, tried everything. Calls, visits, meal plans, nothing seemed to lift the heaviness. Until one day, she did something simple. She said, "Mom, let's just walk. Just 5 minutes. Around the block. No pressure." And they walked. They didn't talk about health. They didn't talk about sadness. They talked about memories. The flowers blooming on the neighbor's porch. What to make for dinner. A funny thing someone said on the radio. And something happened. Mrs. Grace began to move more freely. Her posture lifted. Her steps became lighter. And those 5-minute walks became her new favorite part of the day. You see, there's something beautiful about walking with conversation. It might seem small, but to the brain and the body, it's a kind of magic. Let's break it down. When we walk and talk at the same time, the brain has to multitask. It has to manage balance, foot movement, attention, and speech all together. That coordination strengthens the brain-to-muscle connection. It improves focus, timing, and rhythm. It also boosts mood. It reduces the feeling of isolation. It brings joy back into movement. Now, there's a misconception I hear often: older adults should just sit and rest. Too much movement is risky. But the truth? Stillness causes more decline than movement ever will. Yes, rest matters. Yes, safety matters. But guided, joyful movement, especially in small doses, prevents weakness, protects independence, preserves dignity. So here's what you can do: if you have a parent, grandparent, or someone you care for, walk with them. Even if it's just once a day. Even if it's just down the hallway. Talk to them. Ask them to tell you an old story. Laugh. Recall something light from the day. If they live alone, try this: set up a daily voice memo routine. Let them walk while listening to a message from you. Or play their favorite old songs. That rhythm, that connection, it makes walking feel less like a task and more like a delight. And here's the secret. When walking becomes a moment of joy, it stops feeling like therapy. It starts feeling like freedom. You don't have to call it exercise. Just call it a walk. A moment. A ritual of connection. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the steps they're taking. It's about who they feel like while taking them. Talk while you walk. It might be the most powerful medicine that doesn't come in a bottle. And now that you've learned all 5 tricks, let's take a moment to bring it all together. To reflect, and to remember what truly matters. Watching someone you love start to lose their strength. Seeing them wobble as they rise from a chair. Hearing that terrifying thud from the next room. And then running in, heart racing, only to find them on the floor. It's a kind of pain you can't describe, isn't it? It's not just fear. It's helplessness. It's that sinking feeling, that voice in your head whispering, "Was there something I missed? Could I have prevented this?" And if you've felt that, you're not alone. Many of us have. We replay the moments, the way they brushed off the stumble 2 weeks ago. The way they insisted they were fine. The worn-out shoes they loved too much to throw away. And suddenly, we start to carry guilt. But I want to say something to you right now. Clearly, gently, and from the heart, you are not failing. You care. You're watching this because you want to help. Because you see the little things most people ignore. And here's the truth that brings the power back to your hands: you can do more. Not by being perfect. Not by hovering or taking over someone's independence. But by being aware. By noticing the little signs. By choosing love through action. Because aging doesn't mean we surrender strength. It means we adapt. It means we grow wiser. It means we use every step to walk smarter, not just longer. So if any of these walking changes sound familiar, don't wait until there's a cast, or a cane, or a hospital bill. Take a step today. Call your loved one. Ask about their walk. Walk with them, even if it's just around the house. Check their shoes. Scan their floors. Try the 3-second pause. Practice heel-to-toe together. These aren't big changes. But they're powerful ones. Because every step you take with them is a step away from fear. And a step toward dignity, safety, and confidence. This is what love looks like as we grow older. It's not grand. It's not flashy. It's quiet. It's patient. It's consistent. And it matters more than you know. So take heart. There's hope in every habit. There's strength in every pause. There's healing in every walk shared together. Because when we walk with awareness, we walk with love. And when we walk with love, we help our elders stand taller, even in their most fragile years. Before we go, let's bring everything we've talked about into one clear, simple reminder, because sometimes, all it takes is remembering the right 5 steps, to prevent the wrong one. So, to recap. The 5 walking tricks that are helping thousands of older adults stop falling fast are: first, the 3-second pause. Slow down when standing up. Let your body catch up with your movement. Those 3 seconds? They could save a hip, a wrist, or even a life. Second, the shoe check. Support starts at the sole. Proper footwear isn't about fashion, it's about protection, posture, and stability. Third, the home pathway scan. Clear the clutter, light the way, and create a space where walking is safe, not scary. Fourth, the heel-to-toe rule. It's not just about walking, it's about how you walk. Training the body to move with rhythm helps prevent stumbles and builds confidence. Fifth, the talk while you walk method. Because walking isn't just a physical act, it's emotional, social, and healing. When you walk with someone, you're giving them strength they may not know they still have. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 tips surprised you the most? Or maybe you've tried one before. What was the result? Maybe you've seen your parent or grandparent struggle with one of these steps. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one. And your story, your voice, could be the very thing that helps someone else make a change. Go ahead, leave a comment, even if it's just a simple "I'm here." And if this video brought you value, if it gave you a new perspective, or even just reminded you of something important you already knew, please consider subscribing to Elder Mature Moments. This is more than a channel. It's a community of caregivers, elders, and loving souls walking this journey together, one step at a time. One story at a time. One moment at a time. We share real tips, real stories, and real solutions to help you and your loved ones age with grace, strength, and dignity. So, thank you. Truly. Thank you for spending your time with us today. As always, stay safe, stay steady, and never stop walking toward a better tomorrow. I'll see you in the next one.